Hello, everyone. By everyone, I mean there's no one here yet, so I'm talking to myself. It's been so long that I forgot that normally I do a minute long intro. I have a side dog here. It's just he's just being adorable and cute and not loving that I've dragged him into my. All right, I'm going to do the thing that I normally do to drag people in. Free beer. There, that should do it. Help. It says host on here. Oh, there's somebody. Hello. I'm back. I'm alive. Hello, Amanda. I'm so excited to see. This is all SciMom's fault. Akiko, I miss you. Hello, guys. I'm here. I'm alive. I'm not sure if I'm gonna end up finishing writing an MOS today, but I decided I'm here and there's a ass load of makeup on my face from having an audition today. What? Oh yes, there's a dog going, he cannot decide if he wants to sit here and screw with my microphone or go and whine outside of outside of the other door in here. It's SciMom has entered the chat. SciMom was the impetus for this. I was FaceTiming with mom after finishing up with my Zoom audition, as that is how we are doing auditions now. I don't know if I call it an audition or anyways, audition's the word I'm going with. There's no actual free. If you come to my house, if you find out please don't come to my. If you come here, I'll find a way to get you free beer. Please don't come here. I will not give you free beer. Anyways, but yeah, mom was like, yeah, I miss interacting with the folks on your page. I'm like, fuck it, we're doing it live. We're doing it. So, anyways, Buddy is doing his usual series of adorable little noises. He's planning on taking off all my makeup by the end of the show. That's the plan. So I'm going to give you a quick little update on what the fuck I've been up to and what's been happening. So I've been crying tears of blood. No, there have been no tears of blood. There have been a lot of tears the last time you guys. Hello over in Warsaw, Poland. I hope everything's safe over there. I hope you guys are. I know things are going a little nuts with. I have no idea where. I don't know where in Poland Warsaw is. I apologize for my lack of geographic knowledge over there. I hope everything's going all right over there with you guys absorbing so many refugees and it's Jesus. The news is a little heady right now. Anyways, I'm gonna quickly go through what I've been up to, and then we'll do what we do over here and discuss stuff. Anyways, so as most of you, as many of the denizens of SciBabe Nation are aware, SciBabetopia, Mrs. Auntie SciBabe Lands are aware. Someone get Ryan in here. So Mr. Blackhawk's attention is needed. Anyways, it's so last year I lost my brother. He's what by lost I mean it's not that he's missing, it's that he's dead. Jesus, it's those jokes are way easier now than they were last August. It was it was that's not easy. Like you're not supposed to have your brother die like when he's a few days shy of 41. Like that no. that was not on the list of things that was supposed to fucking happen. But he passed away. It was horrible. No one involved was when I'm involved. I say no one who loved him and is just still like no one is better for this. Whenever look, I'm so happy that no one has said to me he's in a better place, or everything happens for a reason, or God never gives you more than you can. Shut the fuck up. Like no one's given me that, and I am so grateful. Like it's the only thing that could make this quote better would be if my brother was alive. And there were a lot of stages of and I'm sure people watching right now this is not an ununiversal thing. I know I'm not the only one who's gone through this. If you are ever in the awful position of being, on the younger end and having a sibling pass away, I know there's nothing that compares to losing a child. Obviously, there's a very different type of pain. Like my mom and I are going through a different pain. My sister-in-law, my brother's wife, is going through we're all going through a very different. We've been through a different thing in the last year while we're all looking at this void. side of this human, and like now when I start to get sad, my voice cracks a little, but like I don't start, the waterworks don't the waterworks start, it tends to happen more at night, and it's very brief. Like I go, I'll go a full week or so now without crying. And that's nice, because for like it must have been 2 months of just this horrible pain in my throat from just, every time I'd cry, and like it's like when your voice is gonna do this, like this wailing cry, like this deep, like just from your from the depths of your being cry, like the only way your body stops it is like your voice catches it so hard. And I'm like, am I smoking more pot lately, or is it? No, it's just crying that much fucking hurts. So I cried a lot last year, and I still cry about it. I will probably cry about this for the rest of it's like until one day Alzheimer's comes for me and I lose my memory of him. I will be crying about this at some time. Like I've seen grief described as this as a box with a ball in it, and at first when something like this happens, the ball takes up the entire box, and there's a button. Say the button's right there, the bottom screen. The ball is bouncing around, and it hits the ball. The ball hits the button, the grief button, constantly, because you're sitting there, and it's hitting it all the time, and the crying is just there. The sadness, the thinking about it's just there. And I still wake up every day, and it's another day that my brother is not here. And the difference is now I wake up every day, and that sadness, that pain is there. But I wake up and I do my work, and I go on with my day, and I'm all like, it's kind of a new kind of pain. Like my mom and I can talk on the phone now, and like Leo comes up in conversation, and sometimes we'll have a cry together, but it's not like the only thing. It's not the first thing it's not the forefront of conversations. Like as you get a little further from grief, the grief ball shrinks, and it's still hitting that pain button, but it's not so big that it's constantly on top of it. And like it's funny. Originally, when it would come and go when it was bad, and I'd go a day of not crying and be like, am I over this? Am I not crying about what's wrong with me? And like the next day I'd start bawling, and I realized early, oh, take the good days. Don't question it. Just take it. You're gonna have days where you don't cry. And slowly the good days started to outnumber the bad. But my dog hears cats chasing each other, and he's very jealous. So, buddy, I'm just gonna push you off and go find kitty cats. Go chase the kitties. There are 3 kitties. Keith, yes, I am. I've risen. I don't know. I'll see if I can do this every Friday again. I don't know I'll see what my energy levels are getting. I'll see what I can do. But I was here. Mom said I missed the people, and makeup was on, and look, there was the other thing is, last week, when I was taking a few days of mental health off, because and this was like, there are things that and I know that there are people that are like, I hate that think it's how to phrase. There was a thing I did not understand the term trigger so well until this happened just last week. One of my brother's friends, and my friend too, that I'd met through Leo, passed away in Kansas City. His name was Paul, and like each time I'd gone out to visit Leo, we'd gone out together, and it's like when you have like when you have memories that like you share with people, and all of a sudden it feels, I don't know why it was so weird to feel like there were memories that suddenly were gone, because the 2 people I shared them with were like, it's my brother lived far away, and a lot of my contact with him in the last handful of years, like we talk regularly, we're always in contact online and on the phone and whatnot, but like there was this weird, this horribly dissettling feeling where all of a sudden the pain from the last 6 months kind of came right back out. And it's like it was like another piece of my brother gone. And of course, you guys know that I lost one of my brother's paintings. FedEx never got my painting back to me. Anyways, so that was, oh yeah, Paul was always on the live streams. Paul was he was in here with you guys. He was listening on every live stream too. But yeah, no, Paul was a he was a good buddy, and him passing away, like, not only was him passing away shitty, but, like, it's also like, if he died and Leo was still alive, like, I would still be sad, but there would be it's it wouldn't have been like, "Here's my 2 days of not being able to fucking function." And that's just a weird I don't know how to psychology is weird, and I don't understand it. Anyways, so moving on. So while I was taking a few days to kind of work that out, as you guys know, I've been doing some fixing up of my place. I put in a floor. I now have a floor. The place is it's not finished in here yet. As you guys know, I live in an attic that's finished. We're working on finishing it. But I learned if you have grief and anger and sadness, and you have laminate floor to put in, if you pound the shit out of it for 3 days, you'll feel a little bit better. Like, you still need to go to therapy, but pound the shit out of that floor. You'll have a floor by the time it's over. So anyways, I have I've got myself a floor now. The it's my little I'm gonna quickly show you around my little my little Sci office. So there's my printer, there's my little wall of stuff. I have a porg. There's one of you guys, I believe it was a Kiko who sent me that blowhorn. There's another little my little wallow stuff, but I want to show you the visual that I have from here. My little wallow swag, and of course a bunch of books and whatnot. So anyway, there's the tiny little office section of the room, but also look at that floor. Look at that floor that I put in. I'm very proud of that. So anyway, there's that's that's my little corner of the room. It's huge space that's kind of like our main part of the office or of the attic up here. It's just big open space, huge open ceiling, and I like that my office is not like a separate room, but it's like, oh, I still can see, I still have light, I still have all this, and it's cozy in here. It's cozy, and look, Ryan, this is I don't have HBO's budget. I don't. I've got the budget of me and a Logitech cam. So you get bad camera work when you're seeing my floors, but still. Anyways, I've my little space in here. It's covered with some of like my there are shelves that have some things that were mine and Leo's from when we were kids. Some of them have like my stuff. Some of them have little gifts from mom. Some of them have things you guys have sent, of course. There are shelves, multiple shelves with super soakers and Nerf guns. So it's kind of it's all very like, here's stuff that makes me me. And of course there are pictures. There's a picture of I was in a theater guild in grad school, and there's this wonderful picture of us at the end of our production of Going Postal, the Terry Pratchett uh, uh, book that was turned into a play. If any of you guys are Terry Pratchett fans and are familiar with the character, I played Adorable Dearheart. It was a delightful time, and that picture's at the end of my desk, and it still just brings a tear to my eye every time. And then of course there are pictures of my family all over the place. So that's my little office, and it's of course Space Mom, and there's a picture of the Emu Bunny Brigade on top of the thing that has the air horn. So that's one of the things that you couldn't see from this angle. Also, so I mentioned that I had an audition this morning. I can't talk about it much yet because it's like I don't even the name of the thing that I'm like it's I can say it is for a new show that I don't even know the name of yet, probably because it hasn't been sorted out yet. And it's a thing that I'd be appearing on once, from what I understand, and I don't know if I got the thing. But I have to show you this. Like they were like, yeah, come in really high energy, and we want you to explain, like for your test thing, give us an explanation of the periodic table and make it super cute and high energy. I'm like, oh, I can do that. Not only do I have this jacket, I have a second one of this jacket, and I have a periodic table dress. Yeah. Yeah, I can come in and talk about Dmitry Mendeleev and how he made this awesome. Anyways, so that was that was my morning, and I hope that I got the thing, and I'll tell you about it if I got it, and if I didn't get it, I'll tell you what the show is too, because it sounds like a super amazing show. The people that have emailed me and talked to my to my team. I have a team. The people that have emailed me and talked to my team, they've been super great. So, anyways, I missed you too, Claire. It's anyways, I'm excited about it. I hope that it's a thing that I end up being anyways. But yeah, that was my super exciting morning of having I might get out of the house and be in front of people on a stage again. So I guess maybe I'll finally get Omicron or the other variant of it. I'm still amazed that 2 years into this, I have not I got a cold last week. My spouse came home with a cold, and he got it way worse than I did. Ryan just asked, why the hell can't I send stars? So I don't know why, but I got demonetized on Facebook. It's like Facebook's method of deciding, Adrian, get the fuck on this. It's someone nag Adrian over in Discord. I can't. I have to. Anyways, but yeah, we still don't know what happened. They basically, like, I just went through because I haven't, put a video up for a while. Like, I posted, like, I've posted a few, like, this is a weird thing with Facebook. Like, if you post any video, they'll automatically put ads on it, like, without asking you if it belongs to, like, if you're monetized, they're like, yeah, we're just gonna Adrian's go, what happened to him? I need details on, I need my people to be okay. Anyways, but yeah, there's what was I saying before I just saw that Adrian was going to the ER? Before I so rudely interrupted myself, did you miss me? Yeah, it was shit, what was I saying? Oh yeah, demonetization. They basically put ads on anything you put out that's a video, and I think, like, because I did not. Oh, bad. Oh shit, I've heard about. I There was one of my housemates had, like, just talked about a friend that was like a horrible stomach bug went through their entire building. So I oof, maybe it's a thing that's going around. May, maybe COVID's changed, or maybe there's another thing happening. Is norovirus back? I could use another 2 days of excruciating 3 pound weight loss. Don't use this. Don't rely. No, that's not how to. It's not worth it, and it comes back in a day. Oh, the last time I had norovirus, I still have memories of how bad that. Moving on. So demonetization. I think I've posted, like, short little videos of like, I've reposted some TikToks a few times. Like, I posted a TikTok in a comment once, and I got, like, when I looked through my, like, I tried to find what the flag was for through all the things that I posted. I cannot find a specific thing saying you it was for a DMCA, it was for swear, like, maybe it was for, I didn't realize that on a platform that you have to be 13 and older for you can't swear. If that's the reason why, fuck it, please just send me money via Patreon or via PayPal, or just buy me some candy off of my Amazon wish list. I really like being sent candy. Like, don't send stars. Facebook takes money out of, like, you can't send them anyway. Facebook just randomly decided you can't do that, and they won't tell me why. Like, if they told me, hey, don't do this thing anymore so I could avoid doing it in the future, I would super appreciate it. But, like, it's just this loose, you broke our TOS because you did, like, I forget the exact thing that they said I did, but I'm like, all right, could you tell me which video did the thing, the broke the, I don't know which video. Like, there's no information on which one, nothing. So I don't know what I did. They're just like, you can't use, no more monetization services for you, young lady. I'm like, all right, but tell me, I'll not do that thing. And nothing. Absolutely nothing. Anyway, so that's why I'm demonetized on Facebook, for no good reason that I have no idea why. They won't tell me, and I can't fix it. So thanks, Facebook. So I'm just saying, if you want to support the thing that I do over on Patreon, you can get the Moment of Science mailed to your inbox 5 days a week. You don't even that way you never miss it. You never miss a thing. You also get like most I try to add in a little extra like, hey, here's some other information that didn't make the cut. Here's a little rant on what happened during writing this thing. And on the days where I do reposts, I often do extra information that I throw in with the repost, like a little extra color commentary along with that. So I mean, you get extra commentary, of course. Now that I guess I'm doing live streams again. Or there are also patron only live streams, and that's the thing that again I super appreciate that my patrons have been very, very accommodating with me having a few rough months. But to access Patreon content to get this sent to you, it is not a lot of it's. A lot of patrons Patreon accounts start at $2, $3, $5 a month. No, 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 no. Not only can you do it for just $1 a month, if you choose to sign up for the whole year, you get a 10% discount. So you can get the whole year for $10.80. You've blown that on like on a unicorn latte before. I've blown that on a unicorn latte before. I'm worth a unicorn latte. I bring you science history. I bring you quokkas. I bring you quokkas. Anyways, if I would love it if you would join us over on Discord, of course. Discord as Ryan and Akiko were pointing out over there. Thank you, team captains. Is free, but there's also a patron forum that I tend to pop into more often than the other ones. So if you want, like, there's exclusive stuff that I only tell them patrons. So again, if you wanna come hang out with the cool kids, there's the place to do it. It's but again, if you just want to help support the if you want to if sending if you want to help support the thing that I do, and the thought of you're like, I just don't there's a money I don't that feels weird to me. Amazon wishlist, baby. I love get it's and again, just a quick thank you to the Darmentos for sending a few things off of my wish list recently. I've been enjoying the living daylights out of the vanilla beans. That's it's oh, and also the it's I was also there were it's I'm just saying every time I get sent a box of Airheads, a kitten gets a hug from Jesus. So that's just get those kittens hugs. Get those kittens hugs. But anyways, I just you guys have done so much for me over the last few years. Like this was once upon a time an operation that was like running by the skin of its teeth. There was always I don't know what I'm going to write next for who. I don't know what I at one point it was very I don't know what I want to do because I felt like I'd written myself into a corner with just the debunking. And it was like I'm just this skeptic debunker who this is what I do. I do this. I can't go into any other corner. And then the moment of science kind of after James had started his his thing, and we sat down and chatted and was like, how can I do a daily thing? This kind of saved like I don't know if I want to say saved me, but it saved me as SciBabe. It gave it new life and gave it kind of has turned into what I want to do with it. Like I want to make the world a little smarter about science and where it fits into the world. And I think adding a history angle and adding like putting science as a part of the story is just making me so happy. So, anyways, I'm loving what I'm doing. I love it. You're loving what I'm. It's just I love it. I love you all. Anyways, or it's that it's all been good. It's just yeah. The last I did not realize how much harder it was going to be to get creative, do the work when after my brother died. It was everything got a little like it's like it's I feel like I'm always gonna be or I feel like I might always have like 20% less in me, but I'm gonna try to get it down to like 10% less. I'm working it. One of my good friends has been a fellow debunker, lost her husband not that long after like within a couple of years after getting married. Like it was it was just super tragic. And she said before, she's like, for a while I thought, I was down 40%. And I told my mom, I don't know if I'll ever get back up. I don't think I'll ever get that last 20% back. And I'm like, I think I don't, I might, I'm working on it. I'm pushing it really hard. Like there are times when I'm like, I think I'm going at 100%. And by the end of the weekend, crash. So we'll see. We will see. I'm super glad. I don't know if I'm going to pronounce your name correctly, Yoav. It's Yoav. I apologize. But I appreciate that you appreciate my posts. So, but thank you so much. It's just, it's, and thank you again. It's his memory is a blessing. So, anyways, shall we, as we so often do here, shall we? Oh, I'm glad I pronounced it correctly. I never know if I'm going to. It's like, please don't let me hurt someone's name. So it's um I I don't I'm looking at your name. Herke or Herc? I don't want to. I'm like, oh God, this is a name that I'm not going to get at all. But it's and give yourself enough time. I appreciate that. It's again like I know that I am a ridiculously I know this has become a buzzword that people hate, but not around here because you people are great. It's become a very hot buzzword, but like I know I'm in a very privileged position to be able to take first I was able to take like a month off and then take more time off per week, and now it's like there are times when I just don't feel like I'm like I end up on the phone with my mom for a few hours, my brother's best friend Danielle, who's also basically become my sibling at this point. I'm so sorry, Kevin. Like it's just yeah, there's no like when you lose something. Yes, there's like when I was saying yes about the pronunciation, not about anyone's death, just to oof. But yeah, like there's you like I said, time helps. It never goes away. You're always sitting there going, where in the universe is this person? Like I look at all of my stuff from Leo, like, and I look at pictures of him and I think, where is this person? What are they now that they're not here? And that's the kind of stuff that I'm sure philosophers and religious people are still toiling with. But I can work with that. Let's see. Learning the story of the origins of Botox has given me gold from for conversational, which I love that. Like the um the the number of times I get into like here's the thing. First of all, I love Botox. I abuse the shit out of it, and I will not apologize for it. But no, I'd say I use it both for pain management because it helps with my headaches. For TMJ or TMD, however you want to call it, like it's for the TMJ joint, and it's there's basically my jaw clenches up because I've had just a little bit of stress this last year. And Botox being a thing that paralyzes muscles lets your muscles loosen up. So this doctor who was working on eye muscle disorders, strabismus to be precise, and basically at one point they used to use surgery to correct various forms of eye muscle or cross eye, not just crossed eyes, but various types of eye muscle disorders where your eyes were pointed in directions that didn't assist your sight. Eventually was like, let's see if we can just weaken the muscles with this crazy paralytic. And the doctor who invented it, he said the first time he injected a new patient, he's like, I don't know if he was more nervous or if I was. But yeah, eventually that kind of accidentally figured out that it treated wrinkles. And it's kind of medical duct tape now. Like it can relax vocal cords that are too tight to speak. Like the number of things it can do is just it's ridiculous. And it's also, the most it is the most powerful neurotoxin on the planet. It is like it doesn't I read somewhere like depending on where I've read anywhere between 4 grams and 50 grams is enough to kill everyone on earth. And I don't know which way it's you don't need much to kill all of us. All it's and I get that shit injected into my face because it hurts. Why not? Anyways, but yeah, I was injected to help with eye muscle disorders, which I think is kind of neat. So when I see people being like, it's for vain people in LA, I'm like, I am one of those vain people, but also I have a headache. So it's no, and Kelly just pointed out a very good point. It also helps with extreme sweat and odor on feet and on armpits. I've heard it can also help with sweaty hands too. I'm curious how well that works out. But oh God, Greg said I have TMJ too. I've cracked several. I don't know if I've cracked my teeth or not yet, but like one of my teeth doesn't. Sorry, like one of my molars does not feel quite like. I think I might have caused some grinding damage by now, which I have mouth guards. I have no excuse for this. Like I should have worn my mouth guard. It's just like, and I have like jaw stretchers to help, and they've helped. But like I said, after my brother died, like the stress levels, the everything levels just went to a point where the normal things were not helping. Like it's like I was getting I could count the nights, between August 1st and, like, beginning of this year. I could count the nights where I got more than 5 hours of sleep on one hand. Like, it wasn't good. I was slowly losing my mind. I was, like, it's I was very short with people, and that was partially because we changed, or we increased one of my antidepressants, which helped after, like, when you increase an antidepressant, it screws it. The antidepressant works in reverse for a little while. I've just asked, will you be a guest on SGU? I've been a guest on there before. If they ask me, I would definitely love to go on. But that's one of those, they invite you, you show up. Type Suresh, I adore you, and thank you for the way. If you guys are not following Suresh yet, go fucking slam the follow button. He's one of the funny. He is definitely the funniest. He is without a doubt the funniest Canadian trumpeter on Facebook. But he's also pretty fucking funny. So go check him out. His music is fantastic. So I just cannot recommend enough. Just for the record, Suresh, I'm sorry I haven't gotten back to you. I'm a shitty human being who's terrible at answering my messages. But also just he's a delight. Just go follow him. Just check out his music. He'll make you love fucking trumpeting. Anyways, I just, again, can't recommend enough. But it's also it's like, follow him just so never mind the follow him just to see the stuff that he comments to other people's posts. Just for that fucking delight for your stream. That, just trust me on this. Moving on. Let's see. Greg Bender, my dentist is shocked at how ground out. Oh my god, I am so sorry. Yeah, I feel you. Follow who's Suresh, who commented a little bit further up. He's a Canadian musician, mainly a trumpeter, and just trumpeter. I apologize if I'm mispronouncing that. Anyways, it's one of my favorite new friends from the interwebs. Just my love to you too as well. So I already love the trumpet, so you as you well should. So anyways, let's see. Let's now that we've gone through a half hour of catching up on things and going through the shit that's happening in my life, and it's Star said, you aren't shitty. Hey, you did not see what I did to a toilet this morning. I was shitty. Anyways, so let's see, Sarah. What are we making? We're not making fun of anyone specifically today. We could talk about Ukraine because no one else is. That's how you make a war joke. No, we're not. Like, it's the how to fucking start talking. How are you guys all doing with the whole, like, I watched an interview with Fiona Hill, and of course people are like, this might start World War III. And Fiona Hill, the brilliant diplomat, and the brilliant woman that she is, said, we're actually already in World War III. We have been for a while now. It's just people need to figure that out. Katanji's doing here. I saw some of the updates this morning, and I saw Lindsey Graham basically said, we would have preferred the other black woman. Like, oh, there is no bad take that Lindsey Graham won't have. Just, that was gross. But yeah, let's pop onto that after Ukraine. But we'll definitely get to that we'll go through all the Twitter comments afterwards. I don't watch much news. Following BBC and DW are two of the ones that I check out the most. There was one other channel I was watching until it got a little propaganda. Until I was like, oh, here's the slant. I don't want slant. I want interviews with experts. I want, tell me what the fuck happened. I want, if you like the slant I want, if anything, I want interviews with people in the Ukrainian government, like, to know what's happening with them. And I want interviews with other leaders in Europe, and to find out what their plans are. And then I want interviews with analysts to tell me what they think those leaders in Europe are going to do. It's like, tell me which one of these people are full of shit, and which one, like, what their strategy generally is. Like, I need that. I don't need Lindsey Graham talking about why this black woman is bad. Moving on. But yeah, told the coworker, welcome to World War III. Hope it doesn't live up to the hype. Dan Keeling for the accuracy. PBS NewsHour. Yes, that's another one that I tune into. Sarah, absolutely. DW, it's it's German public television. I'm having a blank on what it stands for. But it's a really good, it is in my opinion, second to none in terms of quality of reporting, accuracy. Not it never feels biased, and they'll even it's German public television, and wait for it, it criticizes the German government. I'm just saying, it's fantastic. It's kind of it reminds me a lot of PBS in terms of it will, Democracy Now! Here's the thing, I like it, but I also see that it has a slant, and here's the thing, they do fact like, there's one journalist in there, and I forget her name, long gray hair, she's fantastic, but also I look very carefully at the words people use when they're reporting on things, and she has a lefty, slant, and that's not, like it's not too much of a problem because I'm a lefty person and I like to see someone occasionally using the words that I would use to describe things too. But I also I find there to be a slant at Democracy Now, and I also find there to be a tendency to only talk about like there's it's Democracy Now is not a thing it's just a network that I will watch, but it's also not the kind of network that should be your only source of news. Because if you're only watching Democracy Now and places like that, you're in an echo chamber. And that's something to be very cognizant of. Like, because I have a bias towards places like Democracy Now, because like because they speak my language, like when they're talking about imperial, like because they'll slip words like imperialist blah 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 right in there, and I'm like, oh, you're talking about language. But it's but I also know that I need to hear about this from people who aren't like who are trying to report to everyone, and that's very good for me to make sure that I'm not just getting the news that's custom built for people that vote the way I do. And it's not that I'm not going to watch Fox News. That shit's propaganda. I am going to watch the stuff that was made for everyone, and I think that's important. Do you know the gist? It's a great story. I'll have a poke. Let's see what was I going to say? This morning, just check out the Intercept. I'll have the Intercept. I have problems with sometimes. This morning, just because I hate myself. This morning, I watched a clip from The Hill. Ugh. Ugh. I mean, to be fair, I watched The Hill as analyzed by the Surfs, so it's like shitception. No, I like the Surfs. I find like again, the Surfs far to the left. Not I don't agree with them on everything. I don't disagree with them on everything, but I also watch them knowing that this is slanted. Like you have to remember if you're going to watch a source of news, well go ahead and watch the source of news that you want if it's on your side. Like again, watch MSNBC. If it's, Rachel Maddow tickles your fucking bone, like go ahead, watch that. Please watch the places that don't speak to you. All right. Watch the places that speak dispassionately about this. And I think that's the big deal is the places that speak dispassionately. The ones that just say to you, here's what happened today. The ones that are like, I'm bringing in this expert. We're not like, you can't, it's CNN and MSNBC, even though they're quote on, they're quote center for CNN and left for MSNBC, they're theater. And I sincerely hope that with the new person coming in to run CNN, it gets less fucking sports for how they present news. But those two networks are not giving you unslanted news to a point. You're getting some things factually. You'll get better news from like because there's an ABC News. You'll like I go on to YouTube and get clips from ABC News that are far less slanted than they are on CNN, CBS News, NBC, not MSNBC, NBC News. Those have those have some decent reporting. There are some times where you get some kind of like those have decent reporting, and it's also the clips you find on YouTube are never like watch Anderson Cooper destroy that. And like I think Anderson Cooper is a good reporter. I think that he's working for a network that wants to get people to click on things. So they're like, Ben Shapiro gets a lot of clicks and all of his videos are watch Ben Shapiro destroy a thing. So that's how we should have our anchor. That's how we should sell our shit on. And like, I used to like CNN used to be one of the channels I subscribed to on YouTube. And now I'm like, nope, this isn't news this isn't good. This is just annoying the shit out of me now. So yeah, DW, BBC. I definitely almost said BBW, just because my brain is not working today. Let's see. Rachel is supposedly leaving the Daily Ground. Interesting. But yeah, so I accidentally on purpose watched The Hill today, and it's like The Hill is a special kind of horrible because it's like CBC can be good, yeah. Like, 'cause Ryan Hill can be a pretty talented. I watch Al Jazeera as well for sure. Ryan Hill can be a fairly talented journalist, and can call out bullshit straight. I've seen some reporting from him that's a little it's nothing wrong with BBW at fucking all. I've seen some damn good reporting from him. I've seen some stuff that I don't agree with. I'm sure as is the case for anyone who's read my writing. But right now they have Kim Iverson on, and I'm like, what are you trying to do? Like, are they trying to news, or are they trying to be like, well, we should just put two people on who disagree and that's what news is, right? And it's a little sad and it's a little strange, and I don't know what, like, it's oh, I will forget the Young Turks. Keith just said, "Don't forget the." I'm trying so hard to forget the Young Turks. Like anything that I it makes me really sad that and I get it. I am in this same category of infotainment as the rest of these folks, but it's there's I guess it's just that the Young Turks, it's hard to figure out if they're presenting themselves as news or infotainment. And there are people on TYT that could be decent journalists outside of there. Not all of them. And it's kind of sad because I think it does sully a little bit of the reputations and the credibility of some of the reporting that's in there, because I'll look at it sometimes, but I'm always like, really, like, and it makes me it's like good people have come out of there, but have you seen the laundry list of shitheads that have come out of there? Like Dave Rubin was from the Young Turks. Like there are a handful of people that were just grifters that came out of there. And there are still grifters in there waiting to come. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Maybe, maybe it's the fertilizer that's growing. the it maybe the shit's in the grass. That's that's the that's what's growing these flowers. These shitty little griftery flowers. I missed you too, an angry young man. It's nice to see you all. Like, and it's like I saw like there was a video of Cenk arguing with Alex Jones, and look, I I will always be not on the side of Alex Jones in an argument, but Cenk is just such a jackass. What else it's like, and I'm sure in person, if you were to sit down with him, he would be perfectly lovely. Like, and that's the case with fucking all of these people. But like, I watch a show and like he kind of goes Republicans, right? Like that's kind of I feel like that's the extent of the like it's not, and they'll find a story that obviously shows, they'll find an absolutely true story, they'll find a couple of facts, and then just the discourse on it is lacking. The analysis is lacking, and I mean it's like that on a lot of leftist channels. And I say it's like I feel like it's just Yvette's back and she's bitching about everyone today. But I say this all, and I'm not the person that is making myself sit in front of a camera for 6 hours a day trying to make the news interesting. So what the fuck do I know? What the fuck do I know about attempting to make news interesting for 6 hours a day? Jim just said, let's just admit it. If it's infotainment, it's propaganda, period. No one can report news accurately and inject opinion. No, you're right. I mean, even like when I'm writing about sciencey things, like it's like with my little stories that I'm writing, like you can tell when I'm writing a fact, and I tend to throw in jokes here or there, but like I would not submit the things that I write as my cute little articles. I do not want to talk about Sea Dog today. I'm having a good day. We could not take my articles as I write them, my sweet little articles about quokkas and whatnot, and put them into an academic journal because there are too many dick jokes, and I've inserted my opinion into these, and I know this. And the thing is, I present myself as a goofball so that you'll know that you need to poke through this and find that and see that there's some goofiness, and see that there's also there's some fact into it. It's I feel that there's a disservice done when people try to present themselves as news people, and there's very little differentiation between opinion and news. Like it's kind of like, well, they'll show a clip that very clearly shows the other side doing something bad, and then it's just a half an hour of haranguing and yelling and bitching and whatnot. And it's like, where's I don't know, I think people deserve better from their news, I think people even deserve better from their commentary, but who who the fuck am I to say? I've been just bitching about this for 45 minutes, so let's talk about Ukraine. I'm going to get personal about this for a moment. So quick story. So for a long time, I thought that my family was from Russia, and that's partially because at the time Russia owned Ukraine. But as it turns out, I was going through Ancestry the other day just because I was trying to figure out where everyone was from because I knew in one of the first emails I'd exchanged with one of the cousins I found after spitting into a tube and analyzing my DNA. I knew in the email she'd said I was like, "What? We're from Ukraine." She's like, "Well, Ukraine, Russia was all the same thing at one point." And I'm like, "Huh." So I went through and looked at all the immigration paperwork. My great grandmother was born in Odessa. My it's my grandmother's side of the family were I thought they were Russian Jews. We're Ukrainian Jews, as it turns out. So it's been like last year, and I think I've mentioned this in Patreon. I've probably mentioned it before. I started studying Russian last year, and it was kind of just like it was. There were a few things behind it. One was that eventually, like my friend Brandon had taken this. Thank you so much, Debbie. Don't worry, I'm a total piece of shit sometimes, but I appreciate the compliments. But I started studying Russian last year, which it's kind of I don't think I'm related to Zelensky, but we could be like eighth cousins or something. But we might, who knows? Maybe there's an intermarriage. I might be related by marriage, like eighth cousins twice removed by marriage. Like it's who the fuck knows? But indeed, Ukrainian Jews. That's from Odessa. That I did not realize that. I also my great great grandmother was born in the middle of the country, and that's where and I believe that's where he's like from the same part of the country as him. So I'm it's I've been Akiko, don't you dare tell me to learn Ukrainian. I've been working on Russian for a year. Learning Cyrillic is fucking hard enough. I'm not learning a different version of Cyrillic. But yeah, I've bought like it's here's the reason. Now I bought whatchamacallit, I'd started working on Russian because my friend, one of my friends, Brandon, one of my closest friends, he had started, traveling across Eastern Europe, and he's like, "Yeah, it's super cheap to travel everywhere here. People speak English, but it's if you speak a little of another language, it'll probably help." And I'm like, "I speak a couple other languages to a point, but I would, knowing some Russian would probably help." And I wanted to travel. I knew that we were from I knew we were from some parts of Eastern Europe that I would not ever want to slash be able to go to. Like I knew that Russian, I knew we were some parts of the family had lived in slash were from parts of Russia. And like I still, I now that I've looked through more of the paperwork, it doesn't look like any of the family lived in modern day Russia. It was all Ukraine, Belarus, and Poland. And I can't ever go to not until something fucking happens in Belarus can I ever go to Belarus. But I can check out, maybe I can check out Ukraine one day. But and I want to be clear, my slightly my psychic my sadness from over here from watching what is happening and like what might happen as they're approaching Odessa, like because I always, before this all happened, when I started studying Russian last year, when it was like, oh man, we're going to get out of this. And my brother and I are going to go check out our ancestral homeland and I'm going to be able to speak Russian and get us through this. Now I'm down a brother and I might be down an ancestral homeland. Mm. Mm. So anyway, I'm a little upset. And I want to be clear. I know that my my sadness, my kind of trying to is not it's nothing. It's just kind of compared to the shit that's happening over there. Roxy is here. I'm very excited. We have this is an in-house celebrity here. Hello, Roxy. Anyways, but yeah, I'm it's been really it's just been sad. Like, the last 2 years have been sad on a lot of different levels. Like, not only, like, losing my brother was rough, and now losing the like, it was like, at least I'll be able to go back and, see the home, like, Mm. I like, that was, we'll get out, we'll be vaccinated. Like, I was sure I'd be able to go after this was done. And like that was a big I'm like, my goal was to be not I don't know if fluency is gonna happen, but my goal was to be functional in Russian by the time I turned 40, which I figured by then next year. Oh god, I'm turning 40 next. I was 31 when I started this. Um, but my goal was oh, hold on. My phone is ringing. It's Glendale. This I will call them back. Oh wait, no. They already they already hung up anyways. Babe and Kiev. I'm just saying if I Bay and Kiev. Ooh. If I can talk Jamila into that, I'm absolutely doing it. I would love to have Jamila on a trip with me to through Europe. It would just it's Kelly said, "Hey, the 40s are." I'm looking forward to like. It's funny. I kind of accepted when I turned 38 that I was basically 40. Like 37, I was like, "This is the most 30s I will ever be." I'm like, I felt like 37 was the last year of my of my 30s. I joke, obviously, but it's like, yeah, 38. People look at you and go, "Oh, 40." Which I know is a horrible way to look at it, but it's like at 28, people look at you and go, "Oh, you're pretty much 30." Like you have the brain of a 30-year-old now. We really look. I'm just saying, Ms. Bay will be up for this too. Ms. Bay is definitely up. Um, no, I tried to learn Russian in high school about 27 years ago. I learned a lot of it, but I have let's see. So I started learning Spanish when I got lucky with languages. We'll get back to the war in a moment. It's you are my favorite Gen Xer, Akiko. Now you're my favorite Gen Xer now that my brother has passed away. Oh, dark, grim. Anyways, so moving on. But I started learning Russian about a year ago, and I've been doing Duolingo, and I've now started two other programs on top of that to try to speed up my linguisticals on that because I basically have 15 months to get my goal in, and I don't know if it's gonna. I've met Akiko, Ryan. Once I meet you, I'll have multiple favorites. Okay. Moving on. I'm just saying. I've scrinched Akiko's head. It's fantastic. She's lovely. You are all lovely though, so I love you all. You're all my babies. You're all Mrs. Auntie Cy Babe's nieces and nephews. Okay, you are in 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 the Church of Science. You are anointed as my nieces and nephews. I think that's is there am I stepping on anything culturally there? I think that's okay. I think that's all right. It's I'm anointing. It's can I anoint you with my Geiger counter? I'm sending radiation out into the universe. I'm sending it back. Your anointed nieces and nephews. There. Decided. Mrs. Auntie Cybabe has adopted you all. I don't know if that's is that official? That's legal. We're done here. You're radioactive. You're hot. There. That's I'm getting the schmutz off your face. That's we're there. We're good. Mrs. Auntie Cybabe loves you all. Scion. It's funny, like younger in my career, it was like, how do we deal with the babe part of this? Now I'm like, I'm just adding Mrs. and Auntie to the front of it to like reduce the expectation on the babe. So it's like it's funny. It's like I've lost weight and I feel like I look hotter than I did when I was younger. But those two are not necessarily the one and the same. But I'm like I feel like I look cuter when I was younger. But I also don't feel okay leading into the babe thing. I feel like I want to be everyone's sciont. So you should found a religion. No, I'm not founding a religion. Nah. Nope. Let's see. Oh, we're genetically not programmed to really learn languages. So so I started learning Spanish when I was 11. Or I took when I was in the sixth grade, we did a half a year of French, half a year of Spanish, and I'd heard French growing up because it was my mom's first language, but Spanish, like I just absorbed that. It was really easy, at least for me. And then took Spanish the next 2 years in junior high, and then it was the first. I am related to you, Mom. Funny how that works. Genetics. And then I'm glad I can be the cool aunt. I'm being everyone's psychoog. But yeah, after whatchamacallit. Thank you, Star. I appreciate it. I look like I said, I think looks are working out better for me with age. It might be the Botox though. Anyways, so where was I going before I interrupted myself again? Um, before I started licking my webcam and doing all the things I used to do. Ah, let's see. No, I'll keep interrupting myself incessantly. It's a thing I'm going to do. Someone help. Oh, languages. There we go. Bonsoir, madame d'entrement. Yeah, so languages. After took 2 years, so took 2.5 years in junior high, took 2 years in high school. But the thing was, my first year in the high school, it was their first year offering Spanish because I grew up in New England where they were like, where it was still like French was the main second language up there. Because I don't know if you heard like Canada's that I don't know if I'm mirrored on your, but Canada's in the direction of that. So like much, my mom was not unusual for being, someone just said squeaky background, puppy. Or not puppy. It's not a new dog. It's just my dog is tiny, so I call him a puppy. Anyways, it was. I was used to thinking that French was the main second language in the U.S. Oops, naivete. So I used to, anyways, took 2 years of French in high school, but it was a really kind of shit French, or sorry, 2 years of Spanish in high school after the 2.5 years of Spanish in junior high. It wasn't a great program, but it got me speaking Spanish for 45 minutes a day for the next 2 years. So at least, there was always like at least one other kid in the class that was decent. And because I was the only other, like every other, there was basically all Spanish 1 classes and then one Spanish 2 class. And the next year there was one Spanish 3 class and it was 5 kids and then 3 kids. That's all. That's all we had because like that was the only those were the only people who had taken Spanish before. It was me and a handful of other kids. And one person was put into the Spanish 2 class who had not taken Spanish before, but she was an exchange student from, I believe, Denmark, who like spoke 5 other languages already. And they were like, she'll be fine. And she was the best one in the class, of course. So, anyways, I do have a Twitch. I'm just not here often. But that was Spanish, and I still like I practice, but I need more vocabulary. I probably should sit down with a book and do some refresher. Then I took French in college for a year, and we had a pretty good immersion course. And then I had French housemates in grad school. And look, one of them had a cute friend who was a DJ. Don't fuck a DJ, kids. It's about okay. Maybe fuck one DJ. But I had 2 French housemates in grad school and they needed to practice their English. I wanted to practice my French. One of them had a, you know, cute friend who barely spoke English. And so I got to practice my French a lot. And here's the thing, not fluent, but I've been to France a few times. It's really nice to be able to survive out there, to be able to read the language enough to get by has been great. And that's like, I get it. Learning languages is super fucking hard. It's a pain. It takes time. And I'm fortunate that number one, I have an ability with it. And number two was in school and had a course that was an immersion style course. And it worked for my brain. But yeah, the thing for, I think for Russian was just kind of a bunch of things planted the idea in my head, but finding like there were a couple things that kind of I forget where it was that like someone I like it was a very random person that I knew that had just learned Russian, and I'm like, this jackass can learn it. What the fuck is stopping me? And I like realized my family was from from Ukraine, from Russia, from this part of the world, and I'm like, I really want to be able to go there and speak it. And fuck, the hardest part of it is learning to read, the big thing getting over it. First, it's reading Cyrillic, and then it's the cases, because I'm about at the point where we're getting through. Like the first year of Russian was just slow, was figuring like it's. I'm at the point where I'm trying to. If anyone here is a Russian speaker, you're probably looking at me going, cases. You're having fun, aren't you? But yeah, I did try learning. I did work on German for a year on Duolingo. At some point, I shouldn't have. It makes me sad that I gave up. But it was I think it was just the pandemic, just kind of there was too much going on and no more German for me. But I'm very happy that I can read a little bit of it, which is nice. But no, I thought it was a very beautiful language, which made people look at me and go, what? You think German is beautiful? I'm like, yeah, it's kind of like English, only softer. They're like, you must be speaking it wrong, which I think is accurate. But no, the thing that I did that I'm very this is how you know I'm an obsessive person with a thing. So I was looking for different styles of, learning a language. And one of the things I came across was this thing, the Berlitz self-teacher. And people are like, it's a very rigid style of teaching, but it can work. And there were a bunch of books for, like, Berlitz has a huge program for a bunch of different styles of teaching. And they had a Russian book, but it had gone out of print because they had only printed it in 1951. And, no, it's the Cold War. No one in the US was fucking learning Russian, or no one was learning English. They had a Berlitz. I found online a Berlitz book of learning for Russians to learn English, but not the other way around. But like the it's here's the thing. I know I see you saying I thought learning Cyrillic was the easy part. Here's the thing. Reading, knowing what the Cyrillic alphabet sounds like that's fine enough. Looking at a word and being able to code it to read it out loud, that's a long word and in a string of letters, and putting those sounds together, that takes a little bit of time. Like, if someone reads me a word, I can repeat it back and go, oh, that's obviously what that says, because I know these letters and I know what these strings of sounds are. But it's also, when you're first learning it and you're learning it alone, even if, like, what these things sound like, my brain sometimes still has to correct me and go, that's not a P, that's an R. That kind of stuff. Like, it's getting the coding of these things down takes a little bit of time. But anyways, the thing I was hunting for with Berlitz stuff, the Russian, or the teaching yourself Russian, the self-teacher Russian book it only came out as a first edition. No one bought it. It only came out in 1951, and I could find it on Amazon for $388. I'm like, fuck you. And I just kept checking eBay every day. I even called the language school to be like, do you guys have one of these kicking around? They're like, no, but we can try to sign you up for $4,000 language classes. I'm like, not right now. Then the very next day after I called them, it showed up on eBay for $50. I'm like, yes, you don't even know how cute this is, but like, it has these adorable little 1950s illustrations, and teaches you by just everything you do being sequential, one thing on top of the next. But yeah, I'm having fun with it. Oh, who wants to tell her about? No, I already know Chinese and Japanese are harder. Don't even fucking start with me, Kiko. I was going through just the languages and now I saw a video on how and on grading which languages are hardest to learn. Now, which languages are quote hardest to learn? I did manifest that shit, right? But the languages that are hardest to learn are kind of based on what language you know, or what language you already speak. So if you're a native English speaker, it's different. Like, the languages that are going to be difficult to learn or easy to learn are different than if you're, say, a native German speaker or a native Chinese or a native, all the different. So there is, with the U.S. Foreign Service, these language courses, and you can actually find their language courses online. And that's another thing that I'm tapping into and trying to use to help out. Like I said, I'm very fucking determined. Like, when I'm not trying to write, like, I'm going to end up doing a repost today because I've been on here for a while, and I'm still going to be on here for a little bit more. And I had that interview this morning. But it's like, there's I don't want to brag, but I talk 13. That's something to fucking brag about. That's fantastic. You know what I would do if I spoke 13 languages? I would I would walk around just randomly changing languages. No, I wouldn't. I would not. Man, but no conjugation. Ooh, I'm so used to, it's like, it's funny. I remember people not getting past conjugations in French and Spanish, and I found those to be like in English, we conjugate and we just don't realize it because we're doing it all the time, and it's a thing we grew up with. But like, it's Russian, it's different, and I'm kind of getting used to the style of different. German was different in a way that I kind of understood because it felt a lot like English. Spanish and French, like, once you spoke one, it was like, oh, here's a slightly different spelling of like, going from Spanish to French was great because, like, you already knew the grammar. You're learning a different spelling and pronunciation of the same exact thing. It felt like most of the time. And moving over to like to eavesdrop, right? Moving over to German, it was interesting because German had some bits of French and a lot of English. Like, it gets, and like, I say this speaking so little German. So if anyone who's sitting here speaking German is going, this girl is full of shit, I accept you. I accept that. The romance, and here's the thing, like, there have been times when, because I can read the romance, like, I can pretty much read all the Romance languages because there's so much crossing vocab. And there are times when I don't get all the meaning, but like if and I've had this happen when I'm in a hotel, late at night watching dun, 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 and there's, there'll be I've had this happen once where at first I thought the subtitles were Portuguese because like I didn't, it just never crossed my mind. I'm looking at this going, all right, it's a Romance language. It's definitely not French or Spanish. And I'm looking at this going, it's absolutely not Italian. My first thought was Portuguese. I'm continuing to watch it going, that's, I know, I don't speak any Portuguese to speak of, but I also looked at it. I'm like, I know that's not Portuguese because I can't, that word is not. And I wrote a handful of the words that I saw on the screen into Google Translate. Romanian. And it's a thing that we forget about sometimes. Romanian. Almost like Romanian's the other Romance language that we don't think about. But yeah, to the U.S. Foreign Service, they break down which languages are hardest to easiest, and they go by the number of weeks that it takes that they train, or the number of weeks that they take to train you in them. And there's a list for each of them. So for level 1 languages, it's 26 to 32 weeks, if I recall correctly, and they drop you into another country. I don't know exactly what level people are at that, but you have to be fluent enough to fucking function as a dignitary in another country at this point. But there's, but yeah, like once, it's 22 to 36 weeks, and I believe it's all the Romance languages, and most of the Germanic languages, but not German, and the level 1, which I find interesting. So like Dutch, Afrikaans is in there. Swedish, I found that interesting, was in there. And I'm not sure. I don't want to hunt it down right now because I know I don't know if I'll be able to find it. Oh wait, I have it on my phone. Hold on. The Foreign Service thing was fascinating to me. But the level 2 one was basically like German and one other language. Here we are. Nope. Where are you? Come back. Oh, there we are. Foreign language training. Come on. All right, there we go. First, let's see. Languages more similar to English, 24 to 30 weeks. Danish, Dutch, French, Italian, Norwegian, Portuguese, Romanian, Spanish, and Swedish. So no, German is I don't know if you're talking about a different thing, but German's actually only a level 2 in English. So level category 2, approximately 36, German, Haitian Creole, Indonesian, Malay, and Swahili. And I found that really interesting, but there are a couple of language YouTubers that I follow. And one of them, I was amazed when he said that Indonesian was a really simple, easy language to learn. I was like, huh? Never would have expected that. What? Okay. It's like, and here's the thing, when you don't understand bubkiss about a language, when someone's speaking it and you're like, these words are just flying on past me, you don't know how complicated or simple it is. So the fact that, someone could point out a linguist who, polyglot who speaks a dozen languages could say, yeah, this is really easy, even if you don't know anything about the language group. It's like, oh, maybe throw that in learn it down that's interesting. But he was like, yeah, one of the easiest ones but yeah, Indonesian, Malay, Swahili. Cool. Category 3 languages. Now these are listed as, quote, hard languages, approximately 44 weeks. Languages with significant linguistic and or cultural differences from English. And this is not an exhaustive list. Oh boy. I feel like this needs a song. Albanian, Amharic, Armenian. I'm just going to list the ones that you're probably familiar with. Azerbaijani, Bulgarian, Czech, Farsi, Finnish, Greek, Hebrew, Hindi, Hungarian, Icelandic, Latvian, Mongolian, Polish, Russian, Nepali, Serbo-Croatian, Slovenian, Tagalog. I apologize. I'm almost sure I mispronounced that. Thai, Tibetan, Turkish, Turkmen, Urdu, Uzbek, and Vietnamese. Oh, and Tibetan and Tamil. So there we go. That's so those are the 44 week. And now the 88. So as I said, I do not need this pointed out to me because I read this last week. 88 week language, so 2,200 class hours, so double the training that Russian would take double the training that the hard language I'm learning right now would take. Arabic, Cantonese, Mandarin, Japanese, Korean. Trust me, I, I'm terrified at the thought of learning one of those. I'm aware it's hard. So yeah, it's interesting I'd heard that Icelandic is literally the most difficult language to learn. Icelandic was in the hold on a second, which class was it in? Yeah, Icelandic was in the 44-week class, so that was in the same category as Russian. But yeah, like there's did I say I said Tagalog. I did it come out sounding like Tagalong, like the cookie? I apologize. I didn't mean for it to sound yeah. Anyways, Yvette pronounces things she doesn't know. But yeah, those are learning language is just fun. And let's see, I forgot. I don't know if I forgot Finnish or if I just didn't say it, but no, Finnish is definitely in the it's in the same category as Russian. So, but let me rephrase it. It's in the same difficulty category. I know it's not the same language family. I believe it's the Ural language category. And people often think that Finns. Here's something that here's your you might not know this for the day. People often think of the Finns as either having the same language as Russian, or the same culture as the Russians, or the same culture as the Scandinavians. The Finns will tell you otherwise. Just throwing that out there. Where was Basque on the list? I don't know if I saw Basque on the list. I did not see Basque on the list. Maybe we're not sending foreign service there. I don't, or maybe that's not a thing maybe that's not a thing that's being taught by the foreigners. I don't. But here's the thing: the list also said that it's not exhaustive. So I'm sure there are things, there are languages, there are less, because there are tons of languages being spoken in parts of India that are not on the list, right? So there are almost assuredly people being taught languages that for various parts of India that aren't on the list. Like I'm sure of it. It's and I didn't list off a handful of languages just because I was skipping through. Like I said, it's like yeah, it's a very long list for the hard category. So it's let me see Flemish. Did I see Flemish in there? No. Like a lot of these languages are either from the Near East or from India. It's from the Indian subcontinent is where I would say they are. Yeah, I would guess if they're sending somebody to Spain and France, they're going to learn French or Spanish. But they also hold on a second. I believe I could be misremembering this. I saw Spain. Did I see? I didn't see Catalan in here. I'm surprised. That might be a thing they train people in. I mean, who knows? But like I said, as it says, it's not an exhaustive list. So if they need to train someone for that, I would be shocked if they don't know how to if they don't have someone who can do that. So let's see, Papua New Guinea alone has 700 languages. That's 700. I need to see that. How many languages? Just because that's a lot of languages. Oh dang! Even more than that. 850. Oh, that's awesome. That is fantastic. I like just they. I want to know how they communicate. If they communicate, I have so many questions. That is so cool. No, whenever I hear something that's like that sounds like a fact that breaks my brain. I don't distrust it. I just want to Google it. So that's fantastic. I love that. It's do you do you suppose there's a Republican yelling that there's only supposed to be one official language out there? There's got to be some American who's gone out there and screamed at them to speak English. So, moving on. Let's see. Da-da-da. They don't communicate because they don't have to. It's possible. Africa has lots and lots of tribes. Yep, absolutely. America, bald eagle. Indeed. But yeah, I'm having a good time learning Russian, and it's been interesting seeing, how like, I'm trying to learn, and Russian is on the news constantly, and I'm trying to catch what I can from, like, text flying by really quickly on the screen, and I'm realizing very fast, I don't speak much Russian yet. It's like I feel like I'm at the end of first semester of Russian in school, and I can introduce myself and ask for a table and that type of stuff. And I'm very proud of myself for getting through that on my own, but also trying to read it as it's flying by on the screen is a lot. And there like it's I'm trying to enrich the way that I'm working on it. So that's interesting. It's been interesting and kind of fun to where it's start with the Russian card. There is found this, and I've actually been watching Servant of the People, because that one is I know someone's gonna before I say it say that's in Ukrainian. It is not. It's in Russian, comrade. Sorry for going a little bit too Soviet there, but no, Servant of the People. Zelensky's show. It's in Russian, and it's subtitled, and you can get the subtitles. You can watch. Now, here's the thing. A good thing to do when you're trying to learn a language is to watch the subtitles in the language you're learning, because then you can keep it's really hard sometimes to keep up with the words in the language you don't speak, but having the subtitles in that language makes it a lot easier, and that's been shown to help promote learning far more than watching with the subtitles of the language you know. Now, watching with the subtitles of the language you know and then watching with the subtitles of the language you're learning, that can help, but just watching with the subtitles of the language you already know. So watching Servant of the People with the subtitles in English, like that's a thing I'll do at first and then go back and watch them with the subtitle. Like after I get the gist of the episode, then go back and watch a couple times with the subtitles in Russian to try to follow what they're saying as they're saying it, because sometimes it's just hard to they're saying things quickly and I'm like, oh, I caught the word "что" and I caught the word menya. Like that's not going to get me fluent, and neither will watching an episode or two, but a lot of watching and a lot of doing all the other things together is going to help. There's a it's kind of as I I think this worked. Ooh, okay. Turn my volume down on this headphones. Oh, okay, cool. Yay! I just had to go into another. Is this frozen again? Don't tell me this is frozen again. Okay, cool. I just had to come on as a guest and let myself on. Put those headphones the fuck over there and let you guys see the messy hair day I'm having. But yeah, anyway, we were going to talk about Ukraine, I think. I think that was on the to-do list. So, let's see. Anyway, we're gonna talk. We're just gonna chit chat for a few more minutes because we're getting up to the hour and a half mark, and that's a lot of chit chatting. And hold on, let me put my volume down because the volume getting piped into my headphones is more than I planned on. There we go. All right. Just wanted. I like having noise cut out while I like having the environment outside of this little shell cut out, even if there's no volume coming in. Can you guys still hear me? That's just all I wanna make sure the mic's still. Anyways, all right, glad to be back. I figured out is if that happens. So what happened, and I need to just not all I did, and I don't think it was Spectrum's fault. I don't know if you caught that I plunked the mic right before I went out. I think what happened, I I plunked the mic, and the mic, and I'm not gonna touch the thing for fear of setting everything off. The microphone, the webcam, and the plug for the, whatchamacallit, for the Ethernet cable are all plugged into the same USB, adapter because, if you've seen new tiny little laptops that are designed to fit into a tampon container. They have maybe two. No, one. This one has one USB port. So you need to. I'm not going to show it to you because if I pick it up, we'll lose connect. But I have like a little strip with four USB. I should have gotten more, but I have a strip of four USB ports to plug in to that, so I can plug in my, I can plug in all my stuff. All I did was jostle the mic, and it must have just jostled the cord. The cord, it didn't even pull it that hard. It must have jostled it just a little bit. And all of a sudden, I see the camera blinking, the internet going out. Ah! Ah! From jostling the fucking cord the slightest bit. Anyway, so maybe I'll put a higher tech cord into my Amazon wish list. I don't know. But I don't think that was Spectrum's fault. I think that was Yvette needs a new computer for. I need stuff. Anyways, maybe I just need to get a new one of that little USB pluggy things. But that was unfortunate. Your computer's internals bus still needs to handle those. But yeah, no, my computer. I I would show you the it's that's a little busted too. But anyways, glad to be back. But we're only gonna do a few little minutes. But yeah, I think we chit chatted a bit about the about the war in Ukraine, but there's not much less that I want to go into on that today because we don't have a lot of time. Essential laptop that actually has port. Yeah, I should probably get I like what I want is to eventually get a desktop for the streaming, and for maybe some gaming. Maybe a little gaming. I wanna get a nice, desktop for that and an even smaller laptop than I'm crazy, no. I'm fine with working with a relatively small laptop, if I can get a good desktop, for right here, but yeah, desktop is definitely a thing in my future, it seems, because, like, this is, whenever I've tried to stream, and my patrons can attest to this. Like whenever we're doing a patron only live stream on the YouTubes, the thing that's and I love doing. Oh, good news! Patreon has kind of started building up their platform a bit, so it seems like, and I haven't tried it yet. It seems like you can do a live stream directly in Patreon now. So I might have to deal with like the whole YouTube having a lag thing. I don't know yet, but we'll try that very very soon. We've got the monthly patron stream for patriotic prank calling, and oh fuck, do we have some people to prank call this month? Phew. Oh, I mean, we always call some people to send them nice messages. then we call some people to send them honest messages. I mean, the nice messages are honest too. Then there's some other honest message. Anyways, but yeah, it's Jess. I feel like spending 2K on a desktop is like what I will do when I want the desktop of my dreams. This thing will jerk me off. I want that desktop. Like I want it in my head knowing the porn I want and to know which anyway, sorry, that's too much. I want a good desktop. But like the laptop I have right now, it's not a bad laptop. I spent an okay amount of money on it. It's lasted me a couple of years. It's getting a little slower, but it still does what I want. And I figure I'm still going to get a couple more years out of it, give or take, before I'm like, this thing is going a little too slow when I need it to do everyday things. But like in terms of being able to do like streaming, when I got this, I was just writing. Like I was writing, doing occasional video editing, and it's fine for that. But I did not see streaming in my future. Like I did not buy this in the middle of a global pandemic. I bought this 4 months before a global pandemic. I did not see any of it coming. So yeah, it's my needs have changed. I'm gonna, um, I'll definitely, it's if anyone knows more than me about gaming computers and wants to hop over and wants to chit chat about that on Discord, super appreciate recommendations. Like my spouse and I have chatted about that a bit. I was looking over here almost certain. Oh, I touched the mic. No, I was looking over here almost certain that he wasn't in the room. And oh God, am I gonna lose connection? No, for a second the screen froze, and I'm like, do not make me lose connection for just touching this goddamn microphone. um, but yeah, there's what was I gonna say? Um, yeah, like I know I need a better it's I see people saying building one is fun, and I'm like, I understand what you guys are saying. And I see that, like, I'm just saying, do you guys do you I do you guys know how much, like, I don't have time to learn to build a new thing. Like, and it's I mean, like, I don't know, maybe like I'm trying to learn Russian right now. Building building a website, building a web top. Dear God. That's what we'll be calling my desktop. It will be called a web top. My desktop will be called the SciBabe web top. That's it. Like it's if someone wants to come over and build me a laptop, I'll make you a cheesecake, which is worth way less than your labor will be worth, but it'll be cheesecake, and you'll get to hang out with me. It'll be fun. I'm just kidding. That's not a fair trade. Anyways, it depends on what games you want to play. It's I want to play all of them. Just imagine I want to play all of them and go from there. Like I want to play The Witcher, and I want it in such graphic detail that I can see the dick swinging in the breeze underneath underneath the Witcher's underneath his trousers. I want that, okay? Like that's what I want. That's give me those for graphics and for speed. Okay. Yeah, I understand I have to pay. I'm just saying I'm not what once upon a time when this shindig started, I was not doing quite so well. I've been writing a lot, and you folks have been very kind to me. Um and I have not been spending like crazy. I've been staying home doing not much. So, it's Geralt. Why could I not get the word Geralt out of my fucking face? Anyways, I want to see underneath the fabric, the swinging in the breeze. Anyways, that's what I want for graphics. I say that with complete respect to Henry Cable, who I think should be completely covered in a way that makes him feel respected and not like he's being viewed as a complete piece of meat, just a partial piece of meat, which I think is what he's going for a lot of time. Anyway, Geralt. Geralt's undercarriage. But I just want to, it's funny because I feel really weird and guilty about the fact that I sometimes will put out a picture of Jason Momoa or Henry Cable as a, hey, come, we have a live stream starting soon, to try to get people to notice that stream is starting. But it's at this, look, a picture of me shirtless will not get the same effect. So until that day, that my shirtless visage will function the same way. I'm very grateful for Henry Cavill's pecs. Anyways, you guys are fantastic. I love you all. Stay safe out there. If you have friends and family in the Ukraine, I hope that they are staying safe, that their family is safe, that if they're out fighting, that for the love of God, that they fuck up some Russians. Horrified that this is a thing that I'm thinking even, because these are human beings. These are someone else's children, that are being sent by a madman, for a war. And there are no winners in this. I hate that I'm quoting MASH, right now, but war, war isn't hell. Hell is hell, and war is war. And of the two, war is worse. So, there's there's there are a few things that keep people going through something like this, and it's the occasional bits of good news. So it's hard to look at the news occasionally and see, oh, something quote good happened today. See, when there's a report of, oh, like there's, you see cities being shelled and buildings being destroyed, and constantly see all of these awful things and try to find a smithereen, just any bit of something to give you hope. But that's the thing, is the way that defenses from world superpowers manage to stay alive is not through, it's not through firepower. It's through the little victories that kind of keep propelling people going. And it's okay to look to the news to try to find hope. We can't go out there and fix it ourselves. We can send money. If there are programs in your town that are helping refugees, or in your local area that are helping, please do them. If you're one of my people that are watching from Europe, if your area is accepting refugees, if you can, I understand we're not all in a financial position. Do what you can to help. It's maybe I should do a stream I say maybe I should do a stream that's a fundraiser for at some point. Let's chat about that over in the Discord. But and again, I hope you guys are all safe. And I will see you guys next week. I love you all. Take care. Bye.